What's going on, everyone? Juicebags here, and welcome back to Some Dungeon Defenders Awakened. It is time, y'all. We are on my alt account with this full progression playthrough in early access, and it is time for a legit, real attempt at insane hardcore Promenade. Now, this is going to take me up over the hump of level 70, which means after this run, I will have Nightmare unlocked. Now, does that mean I can beat Nightmare? No, it does not. So I do want to make sure that I'm able to push through this map as far as I can before getting Nightmare unlocked, as I just want to maximize the loot quality and the amount of gold we're getting out of it. Now, a few things I'm going to do. First off, as you see, we're at 6 million gold still. I've actually got quite a few stuff in my inventory that I did not sell off yet. So I'm going to go ahead and, let's see, do we want to just sell everything? You know what, let's do it. Let's just sell absolutely everything we have. I don't have any pets or accessories that are important right now here in my inventory. So we're just going to sell all and get a clean slate. That jacks us up to 8 million. Now, we know just running through that last map, making it to wave 17, I gained like 6 or 7 million gold out of the deal. So, with that in mind, I know I'm going to get that gold back. I am going to go ahead and drop a few more upgrades on the Apprentice here. As you see right now, we're at 243 power, 66 range, 182 rate. And what I want to do is drop like 2 million gold into the Apprentice to get this power number up higher. So, with that in mind, that is what, about 500,000 per armor item, as armor is going to give me the most bang for the buck. So I'm going to go ahead and drop about 500,000 gold into each armor item just to get a few more power points out of the deal. Actually, that's 600,000 there. Let's just do that. We'll drop, so 2.5 million-ish we're going to spend on a few upgrades. Let's go through and do that. Let's see here. We'll get a few more points into power here. Now, remember, even though... Let's see. Let's just go... We'll go to 500,000 on that one. Even though we are only getting these few points out of the deal, also remember that the set bonus is going to kick in. So for every 10 points that we spend, we're actually going to get an additional 4 points in that power stat out of it. So this is going to get me up there a little bit further, and I should be in a little better shape. You see now it says 243 power. If we go ahead and get that refreshed, we're actually at 271. So that was a very nice gain in power on the Apprentice. Now I am going to take this one step further. Now, I haven't been using the Huntress. So why on earth do I have my best overall pet on a character that's not being used? That just doesn't make sense. My thought here was I was going to take advantage of this powerful gemstone, which, it's only boosted 1 defense, so it's not really doing that much for me. I think overall I'm going to be better here using the giraffe, which is also going to give me some more hero stats to make me hit a little bit harder when I am trying to help out and DPS down the ogres. So let's hop on in to the Promenade on Insane Hardcore and give this map a run and hope we get some decent loot. Let's check it out. Now I am going to build the map exactly the same way. So I'll show you how I start off on the map to get the build in place, and then we'll go from there. So when you first get started, obviously we're going to want some walls down. Let's go ahead and just throw down walls. Now on each lane, just to provide a little damage to get through wave 1, I am also going to throw a flame burst. Now we're not going to be able to get all of these down. Now one thing I failed to do on the last run is I didn't put them back far enough where they were outside of the ogre cleave range. So I'm going to make sure on these ogre lanes I put these flame bursts back just a little bit further this time. That way I don't have any ogre cleave damage in the mix to have to worry about. Now, of course, the ogre snot balls are still going to be a thing, so we're going to have to watch for those. And we can actually move that flame burst way back onto the stairs now. So let's go ahead and do that. I got 220 mana left. I do want to make sure I at least get the walls in place. So we're going to have, what, 2 lanes here that we don't have any actual damage going out on that lane other than what we provide. So I'm going to watch these 2 lanes as they are kind of the closest to together, really, where it'll be really easy to just watch those lanes. Now I do need a little bit more mana, and I'll be able to get another flame burst thrown down. And look at that, first mob out of the gates, fire immune. And another one already, holy crap, hopefully that's not a sign of what's to come here. But, let's see, let's get that flame burst way back. That's way outside of cleave range of the ogres, so nothing at all to really worry about there. And then we should have enough mana here where we can go ahead and get a flame burst down as well. Let's go ahead and throw a second, but one thing we want to do in this first little wave right now is get Strength Drain R's everywhere, because Strength Drain R's, of course, are what's going to strip away that fire immunity. So any mobs that come out that are immune to fire, that is going to get stripped away, and it's going to make the Flame Burst Tower able to just go beast mode on everything. Now, just put them wherever. One thing with the Strength Drain Aura is you never want to get them too far up into the spawn, as if you put them way up in the spawn, you just will have the charges burn way too quick. So you want them to be able to cover the lane, however, there's no reason for them to be buried right inside the spawn. Now I'm going to go ahead and get this next wave started. Make sure you collect all the mana before you go hit G, and then you can just work on what you have here. Now we were going what? We were going 5 flame bursts on every lane except, or 5 flame bursts on the 2 ogre lanes, and then 4 flame bursts on the other lanes. So 4 flame bursts on every lane with an additional, and that should leave us with just the 3 DU left over, and I'm going to throw an Ensnare Aura in the mix there. Now, one big benefit we have now over the last run is, although I did end up getting past level 60, I wasn't able to fully upgrade my defenses. So, like, my walls were a little bit flimsier than they could have been until I hit level 60, but then, of course, I didn't have enough mana to get all of the upgrades in where I wanted it. So still just working our way around. No real priorities. Obviously, there's nothing that's going to be too much of a challenge here. Just getting through wave 2. But just kind of waiting for the mobs to die where we can just pick up a little bit of mana. Seeing only a couple of left. Let's get this lane finished up here. With another flame burst right there, and then one more directly behind. Alright, very nice. Now, we've got that lane done. We can get this lane done. Let's just do the same thing. We'll go 3 and 1. Now remember, these walls are going to get just brutalized the entire time, so this will be Wall Repair Simulator. I've got no aspirations of thinking I'm a beast all of a sudden now. So, yeah, we're going to be repairing some walls. There's just no doubt about that. See, we get 4. Let's just throw the 5th right there. And then that's going to leave me that 3 DU left over. And once again, I'm going to go with an Ensnare Aura right here. Now, the Ensnare is going to give me a little help against that ogre that comes out. But of course, it's just going to make all the mobs come out slower, so good stuff there. So let's go ahead and, now that we've got the build done, we've got all of our DU spent, let's go ahead and hop on forward until we get to a wave a little bit more challenging than wave 3 here. Alright, now here we go, y'all. We are at wave 17, so this is the wave that did me in on the last attempt, and ready to push on through and try to get past this point. Now, as you see, not only did I hit level 70, but what I'm like past 25% of the way through to level 71, which means we do have a bunch of points to spend on all of our heroes. 30 more points, nothing wrong with that. These 30 on my apprentice are going to go directly into the Rune of Power. On the Squire, of course, we're going to go into the walls. The Huntress we're not even using right now. I'm just going to drop them off right there. And then the Monk. I'm thinking... Let me see. Where are we at on the Monk? We're at 154 Fortify. I'm thinking we want to go ahead and just split them. Let's split them between Power and Fort. Now remember, although we are just using Strength Drain and Ensnare auras, both of those auras are affected by the amount of power you have. So the more the merrier. And let's slap some upgrades around as well. Now, in addition to just the points, I've got a bunch of accessories that were just from the waves. Of course, accessories will start dropping from the wave chests in Insane mode. So I've got quite a few accessories as well, and I could get some stat gains out of that right now. In fact, I just don't see why I don't. So let's see, what do we have? Let's go ahead and get all our accessories selected. We've got quite a bit of new stuff. We've got a mask here. Fortify, Power, and Rate. That one's, it's better, but it's not like screaming at me, oh my god, it's so good. Now let's see, what do we have here? See, we had Defense Rate on our old one. We get 3 range on that one, 3 range on that one. Let's go ahead and use one, why not? And let's see what else. Bracers. So any bracers would be an upgrade. 2 rate on those. 2, nothing there. What about this? 2 rate on each of those. Might as well just grab a random pair. And then let's see, we've got our Squire. No Fort on any of this stuff, huh? See, we got some Fort, 2 Fort, 2 Power on that mask, but it's not better than what I already had. And no Fort on either of those, so I'm not going to waste it on that stuff. How about the Monk, though? The Monk could use some accessories. Anything will be an upgrade here, as I have none. Go into rate, and then what do I want? 3 range or 2 rate? I think let's just go with the range. Or go with the range, and that should help us out there on the Monk as well. Now, in addition to all that, you see, not only have I made up the gold that I spent, but I'm back up to 11 mil already, so the gold is starting to flow. We're in pretty good shape altogether at the moment. There hasn't been any like major catastrophes so far. Of course, Wave 17 was my major catastrophe last time around. But let's see, let's just get everything repaired and then see if we can't get through Wave 17 here. A few more ups to go around still. Not enough mana to do that one. Looking really good. Now, as I mentioned in the last episode, a big part of it is there is never any variation on the ogres here. So every single wave, it will always be 2 ogres from that lane, then 1 ogre from this lane. So as long as your defenses can hold off the packs, you're going to be in good shape. So I do like to start it off over here. A little bit more mana. I guess we'll just save that 1100 then. Yeah, nowhere else we can go. So I started off right here, wait for the ogres to come out, do my best to hopefully avoid an ogre snotball, and then overcharge these flame bursts and do what I can to, you know, just get these ogres burned as quick as possible. Like I said, wave 17, so it has begun. See, one threw at the wall, another threw at me, so I can get a little distraction, but not too bad. Now I'm just going to leave the overcharge run here, because the other lane I am actually not going to run all the way over to. So in the other lane, I'm not going to need to overcharge my defenses, or I'm not going to overcharge my defenses over there. So that just made me more than willing just to burn my entire bit of ability mana here and not even worry about it. Alright, so the ogres, the first 2 ogres anyway, are just about there. We are so close. Alright, now as we see, we've got ogre number 3 is already out and in force, so instead of running over and overcharging those flame bursts, I'm just going to give a little bit of DPS from here. And the reason being is it's at the point where the mob speed has increased quite a bit. I don't really have much CC on the map, so I don't want to get stuck out there with a bunch of Dark Elf warriors. as getting Delft is just no fun at all. And that ogre's just about down. So now, once this ogre dies, I just want to keep an eye out for anywhere where walls are getting hit. Now, the kobolds are going to be chewing on walls. There's just no avoiding it at this point. So my hope right now is that the walls are just going to survive through the kobold assault that comes out. And there's quite a few on that lane I'm shooting at. There's also quite a few that come out at that lane over there. You see those walls are already just getting beat up on. So I want to do my best to get these burned down, but I don't want to stick myself out there unless I absolutely have to. So I'm not going to go zerging around the map or anything. I'm going to try to stay somewhere in relative safety, pardon me, and just give a little assist remotely here. Man, I tell you, if I'm able to complete this, I think I'll be level 71. The amount of XP you get in survival right now is extremely generous. Now, looking at how much damage these walls are taking, I'm thinking I probably won't make it all the way through to wave 25, but I should make it far enough to get some more nice upgrades, and, you know, I mean, that's what it's all about at this point. If I can't complete it, I'm probably not even going to bother coming back. I may end up just going right to Nightmare mode and trying Ancient Mines, as I know that there will be, you know, level 70 legendaries on the ground that just blow away what I have now, like at super early stages. So anyway, there is wave 17. Let's go ahead and jump on forward once again until we get to whatever looks like it's going to be the end. Alright, so here we go. We're actually made it to wave 25. I'm kind of pleased that made it this far. As you see, level 71 and just past that 25% mark in the level 71. But I will tell you that this has turned into a very chaotic wall repair simulator. Now, if I were to make any last minute changes to the build, I would say that I think this ogre lane, since I'm starting off here and giving it so much attention, is not as much of an issue requiring 5 flame burst towers. I really think 4 flame bursts would get the job done. And on that same note, although this lane hasn't been a huge problem, there has been one issue, and that is there's a lot of mages at the end of the wave backing up in here and just spam healing and summoning skellies, which in turn is completely devastating my strength drain aura and my ensnare aura. Now, what could be done there is I could remove one of these flame bursts from this lane as well. Now that would give me 10 more DU, and 10 DU would allow me to throw an explosive trap here, and say an explosive trap right here, and I think that would take a lot of pressure off of the lane, just no doubt about it. However, I mean, you could even throw another explosive trap over on that lane. However, I am going to leave it as it is. Although it's been extremely chaotic, it has been doable. No real super duper sketchy moments so far, so hopefully I'm going to be able to complete this map and get myself yet another giraffe, and then from there we can take those first little baby steps on into Nightmare mode, and that is going to be some real sketch, because I'm going to be going in there with pretty darn low stats altogether, really. Now, I am going to have a bunch of gold, so I'm debating on dumping a bunch of that gold right now to ease the transition of the Nightmare a little bit further. But another thing there is I just know that really good loot is going to be dropping relatively early in Nightmare mode. So feeling like I need to blow all my gold now, I'm not really sure that's the best idea. It might be better just to save what I've got for that Nightmare loot once it pops. Now, these ogres that are about to come out here, they are some healthy boys for Insane mode. Of course, playing solo, they're not even as much as it would be if I was in a group. But it's taken a while to burn these things down, so I'm doing proper cycling of my overcharge. I activate the ability, I right-click, and then I turn the ability off to try to generate some mana. I'm not recasting it until I see the little glow effect on the towers go away and they slow down, which as you saw just happened there. So let's go ahead and pop off another overcharge buff. And we've got one ogre down, we've got one more to go. He's at what, 1.5 million now. Now, another change that I've been doing is I'm not running right over and waiting for that ogre. And the reason is my side lanes are just getting chewed up. The kobolds are the real deal, there's no doubt about it. So instead of waiting for that ogre, I'm going to throw an overcharge. And then I'm going to rush right over here and drop yet another overcharge. Now, even though these walls are not even at the halfway mark yet, I'm going to go ahead and repair them anyway because I know they're just going to get beat apart by these kobolds. That's just going to happen, and something I'm going to have to deal with here. Ooh, the frames have dropped big time. We are down right at that 30 frames per second mark. That will, of course, make this a 30 FPS video, so I do apologize for that, y'all, but we all know that the game is ready for some optimization. There's no doubt there, and I am anxious to get an optimization update that will hopefully smooth some of this stuff out. And now we've got our ogre out over here, so this strength drain aura is going to be just completely devastated because there is just a ton of mages behind them. Now, one thing I can do right now is I can kind of ignore the ogre, make sure the walls don't die, and just take some chunks out of those mages with my apprentice that are backing up there on the back side. It's kind of hard to see them because of all the smoke, but they're back there, I do assure you, and they are healing and summoning like a mofo as we speak. Let's go ahead and throw an overcharge here, and I think we might be in good enough shape now to just work on burning through this ogre. We're at, what, 700 mobs and change left. You see there's still some mages back there. See if I can't get some shots in on those. That strength drain aura is just really getting tore apart by these mages. Now, as soon as this ogre dies, those flame bursts, of course, are going to switch to the pack, and that's just going to instantly blow out all of those mages that are in the back. But until we get to that point, definitely something to be very conscious of. Now let's see, at this point now it's coming down to the end of the wave. I just kind of want to make sure none of my walls die because it's only going to take one mob to zerg through and smash my core. So let's just keep these walls in a relatively healthy state and let these final mobs tick away here. Less than 100, and I think we just earned yet another insane mode giraffe, so pretty stoked about that. Ooh, we took a beating over there when I wasn't looking, but luckily was able to hang in there. Look at all the legendaries on the ground. There's no doubt there will be some fatty upgrades. That's good stuff. Is that kobold over here? No, the kobold is over here and stuck, it appears, up in the corner, and there we go. So let's take a peek at our fancy new giraffe and see if we got any good loot out of this box. Very nice. Fortified power, range, and rate. All 4 builder stats. Not terrible. I mean, that is going to be a nice upgrade for somebody. There is no doubt about it. Now, that will do it for this episode. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to click that like button. Please subscribe to the channel, because coming up next, we are going to have some entry-level builds going into Nightmare. So thanks again, and I will see ya real soon. Take it easy.